Hey guys, it's SolidBoss09 here, and I'm going to be showing you guys what MGO2 CQC was like. And today, we're going to do basic offense. Alright, now to start off with basic offense, we have a couple things. Standing slams, standing grabs, crouching grabs, crouching slams, melee, and then rolling. Okay, so standing grabs and slams. First I'm going to tell you how to do it and show you how to do it, and then I'm going to talk a little bit about it. Alright, now these three guys in front of me, I'm going to slam. So the way to do it is whatever enemy you want to grab, wherever he is, you have to point in that direction with the left analog stick, and then you have to press R1 at the same time. So I'm going to go from him to him to him. Left, up, and then right. That's how you do it. And then it's actually the same way to grab someone. You just point in that direction, and then you, instead of pressing the R1 button, you have to actually slightly hold it. Like that. Now, from this position, there's actually 6 things that you can do. Number 1, you can choke them, and you do that by pressing the R1 button down as hard as you can. Like that. Press it down and you can choke them. And I just killed this guy. Number 2, you can push them forward, and you do that by using the left analog stick and the R1 button. What you have to do is you have to push the left analog stick to the way that you're facing. So if right now, if I was going to do it, I would push to the left. If I was going to do it now, I'd push up. So you do that, and then you press the R1 button at the same time. Like that. And it's best that if you press it like twice, if you tap it twice, just so that you make sure you can push them forward. Number 3, you can pull them back or push them on the floor. You do that by pointing the left analog stick to the opposite way that you're facing. So right now I'll be pushing it down, right now I'll be pushing it to the right. So you do that, and then you press the R1 button. And like I said with number 2, you should press the R1 button multiple times, maybe like 2 or 3 times, just so that you make sure you can actually push them down like that. Number 4, you can crouch and choke them if you want to. You do that just by pushing X just once. You just tap it, and then you can choke them like that. Then you can go back up again. Just make sure you have the R1 button slightly held down while you're doing this so that you can actually do it. Number 5, you can move around with them. Just remember that you have to slightly hold down the R1 button so that you don't choke them. And you just use the left analog stick to go whichever way you want. You can move them anywhere. Okay, so number 6. Number 6, you lay on the ground and you choke him. So to do that, if you're in the standing position, you press X once, just tap it, and then the left or the right of you is the way that you have to push the left analog stick. So right now I'd push it up or down. Right now I'd push it left or right. So I'm going to push it to the left, and then you have to press the R1 button at the same time. And when you do that, you can hold the button down to choke him, and there's no way to get back up from that, so you just have to let go of the R1 button. So, and like I said for number 2 and 3, it's best if you press the R1 button a couple times just so that you can do it like that. And these standing grabs and the slams, they can only be done to people who are standing, and people who are crouching, you will not be able to grab them or slam them at all if you're doing a standing grab or slam. And if you miss a grab, a standing one like that or whatever, you will end up doing an animation that will leave you open for about like 2 seconds, and that's plenty of time for anyone to just come over and knock you out. So it's advised if you only use it if you are absolutely sure that you will make the grab or the slam. Alright, just a little note for 2, 3, and 6. You notice how I said to press the button, and I know that you already have the button like held down to do that, but what I mean is that you let go of it just for like a quick second and then you press it again just so you can do that move. That's why I said you should press it like twice or 3 times. I press it twice, so that's just to make sure that I'm doing it. Like that. So just a little tip for you guys if you were confused on what I meant. Okay, now, crouching grabs. Crouching grab. Crouching slam. It follows the same rules as the standing grabs and the standing slams. You do it the same exact way. You push the left analog stick toward the person you're going to grab, and then you press the R1 button, or you hold the R1 button like that. And once again, you can do those 6 things that I mentioned for the standing grabs with this one, like so. And the good thing about crouching grabs is that you can grab pretty much anyone who's not laying down on the ground like that. So it's good. It's probably the most used grab for like CQCers, because if you miss a grab like that, it will only do this animation for about like a second. So people who are really fast might be able to get you, but like normally noobs won't see that opening, so they'll just, so that would be like a safe thing for you if you do that. Okay, so just a little note for the crouching grabs and slams. Since it can grab anyone who isn't prone like that, it is the most favored grab for CQCers, and believe me, if you're going to be a dedicated CQCer, you're going to be doing that grab a lot. So I suggest you train with that grab more than the standing one, because you'll have more of a chance of getting someone like that other than doing that. So, and I'm going to show you what I mean. There's a little trick that you can do. I'm going to show you what I mean with this guy right here. Now if you noticed, I actually crouched before I grabbed him, and I've noticed that people actually have difficulty doing that, but all it basically is just running up to the guy or whatever, and right before you grab them, you have to crouch. So you just press X, oh, sorry, press X, and boom. have to be careful though. You don't want to press X while you're pushing the left analog stick up or wherever you're facing, because it will make you do that, like I did. So you have to be careful. It takes really, really precise timing and precision, and I've CQC'd for like 3 years, so I know how to do this stuff, and it's really easy for me. So all you basically do is, I'm gonna do it slowly. You run up to the guy. Before you press the X button, you have to let go of the left analog stick. Then you press X, and then you move the left analog stick toward the person you're trying to grab, and then you do that. It is really hard. That's why I told you you should train on this more, because it's the most effective way to do that, but it's also really hard to do for some people, so I suggest you do that, and I'm going to do it one more time. Okay. You see a guy, you want to slam him, so what you have to do is, you run up, let go of the left analog stick for a moment, press X, then you move the left analog stick again, and you do that, and you grab him, or slam him. So, you should go into virtual range and actually try to do that, because it's actually really hard. So, kudos to you if you can manage to do that in only a couple of tries. Okay, now we're going to be doing melee. Melee, you just press the R1 button 3 times for the full combo. Okay, let me do one that will. Like that. It's best not to spam it like that. Do not press it really fast, because that could leave you open. So what you should do is train it. Just keep tapping it. Make sure you're only doing the first punch, just for training, just to start, and then you do the second one. Remember, it's only 2 taps to do that. You don't want to press 3, because then you'll end up doing this. So, and if you do this, see how much time that animation is? That means you can be open for that amount of time. So it's best if you use it the right way, meaning like you time it good and you actually make sure that you can hit them. The kicks, it's best to do the kick only after you slam someone, like this. Boom. And then you do that. That's really the only basic way to do a kick. I mean, it's really the only basic kicking move that you should do. Or just, if anyone's on the ground, you just do that to them. Okay, now a little note for the melee. These 3 moves, okay, those 3 moves actually have different stamina damage. I'm going to explain a little bit more in the miscellaneous section for the stamina bar. But this hit only does 1 point of damage, and like I said, I'm gonna explain the stamina points and stuff like that later on. So that does 1. That second punch, that does about 2. And the kick does about maybe half. So just make sure you know when you're using it. Meaning, like, if you slam someone and they end up getting back up. All you need is just one more hit. So you can either punch them like that or roll into them to get the final KO. Okay, so rolling is just basically like that. What you have to do is you have to push the left analog stick up, and actually just point it anywhere. It has to be like continuous, so you have to like run while you're doing it. But you can also do that. What you have to do is you push the left analog stick any way you want, and you press the X button. You just tap it like that. Now, you shouldn't spam this, because people like me and other people up to my skill level know how to actually like do certain counters that will get you KO'd if you keep doing that. So it's best if you don't spam it at all. But it's best used when someone is crouching, because when someone crouches and you slam into them, they'll actually get knocked back. So that it should be only used for that, but don't spam it if they're constantly crouching, because it looks bad on you, and then people will end up being like, oh yeah, you're a roll noob and stuff like that. And unless you want that drama, you just spam it all day if you want, but otherwise don't do it. Okay, now a little note for the rolling. If you roll into someone who's standing, they won't get knocked back, they'll just get pushed. In the main game, they get knocked back like that, but on the online, they don't. They just get hit, and they don't fall back at all. So that's why you have to be careful about when you're doing it, because they could actually backfire on you, and you can get KO'd. Also, something that you should keep in mind. When you do this, you see how you stand up right away? That could leave you open for a grab or slam, and you'll end up getting KO'd. So one way to avoid that is by doing this, going prone after it. Now all you have to basically do is just hold down the X button when you're rolling, and you do that. This can help you. This can save you from a lot of people who are just gonna do a standing grab, because if you like roll right in front of them like this, this guy right here could have easily grabbed me. So if you do that, he can't grab me. So, and he would be, if he's smart and he sees that opening, he could actually try to kick you. And I'm going to tell you in the expert defense how to actually avoid the kick. That was my video on basic offense. Hope you enjoyed. Subscribe if you want to see the other CQC videos and all my other series that I have. So yeah, I'll see you next video I make.